Today is Sunday, July 14th. So if you are watching this, make sure that you on the 14th. If you're watching this on the 14th, today and Sunday, we will be doing a show, Better Love Movement, and myself, Miss Auntie Anita, and I are going to be talking about marriage and divorce and what men want and all the other stuff that goes on with this. So if you're not doing anything at 7:30, stop what you're doing. If you are doing something, stop what you're doing. If you're not doing anything, make sure you come over, check us out, and all that. All right, 7:30 on her IG channel, Better Love Movement, all one word. So, listen, I could not finish this Tyler Perry movie. I could not finish this Tyler Perry movie, and I know, I want to do. I'm not gonna do a full review, obviously, but it's just so horrible. I don't know how this man. I don't know what his thought process is. He tells the same stories, right? Broken-hearted woman who's saved by a light-skinned Negro. She gets out of the divorce and then gets saved by an. I had to turn it off, not even halfway through, quarter of the way through, a third of the way through. But I just can't watch this. It was just unwatchable. I don't know what his thought process is. What is he not running this by different people? I mean, I've never been to film school, but I understand, a certain degree of character development, and I like a good story and all this, right? I don't understand. I don't understand how he does this, right? So, and Megan Good and Corey Hardrick are the two actors who portray this. Now, I understand that in Hollywood it's hard to throw a rock without hitting anyone who hasn't been divorced, but these two people in the black community are the stars of the movie who have gone through very public. If you pay attention to the black community, very public divorces. Tia Mowry divorces Corey Hardrick because she graduated from marriage, and this dude has just confessed that he's been crying his eyes out at night for over a year and he's going to be cast in this. Then Miss what's her name there? I just said her name. Megan Good, who is now and dating Jonathan Major, but she just went on to Club Shay Shay. Obviously the parent to in line with the movie there goes on his show and talks about how her divorce and there was really no reason for it, right? Just listen. Why? All right, let's get back to the movie here. So the premise of the movie. The premise of the movie is that and listen, he starts off these movies really good. Corey Hardrick's character, Dallas. I don't know any black people named Dallas. Is that what y'all naming your kids down the South there? I don't know. I know plenty of white people. I met two Dallases in my life. Whatever. So his name is Dallas. Comes from a bad family of bunch of thugs and roughnecks and robbers and scammers and all this kind of stuff, right? It starts off the movie. What a good scene! In all honesty, I thought it was a good scene. Starts off the movie, they're at the funeral because Corey Hardrick's older brother had gotten killed trying to rob somebody straight out of prison. They're at the funeral of that, and the preacher, the pastor, his daughter Megan Good's character is the daughter, and she convinces the father to do the funeral. And the father is, I guess it was supposed to be some old-fashioned hellfire preacher talking about, that you're basically gave a message saying your kid is in hell. Your kid, your brother, the mother was there. The mother, talking to the mother and to her other boys that your mother is in hell, and that your son is in hell, and to the brothers. So the mother gets all upset. And yanks the tells the boys to we're gonna turn this place over, and then takes the dead body out of the casket. I was like, man, this is good, this is great, right? Drama, craziness, right? Craziness at this wedding, right? At this funeral. Thought it was good. And just here's the rails, and then he just goes off. Right? So I thought that scene was good. So, you know, and then there's the thing, it's a big, overweight black woman as the mother. I don't know. This brother. Listen, I do a little bit of film study because I teach race, crime, and ethnicity in other summer classes, and I talk about how black people have been portrayed in movies and stuff over the years, and these racist tropes that we're trying to overcome. And he's got this big, overweight woman who is the matriarch of the family, and she's yelling at the boys to get the boy out the casket. These boys don't have any agency. They're just going along whatever the mother says. Who knows where the father is, and he's obviously gone or out the picture or whatever. But this big matriarch is dominating these boys, and just, that's a message in and of itself. So they do it. They take this boy out the casket, bring him, and they bury him in wherever the rest of the family members were buried at. So it really could have been a good story if this was about two people from different worlds, cultures. One comes from a very roughneck Corey Hardrick's Dallas character, and Megan Good's come from this, upper class kind of character. And it could have been a good story if he just would have kept along with that. We don't know really what the problem was. It's just assumed that maybe Corey Hardrick's character eventually started some kind of drinking problem. When I say what the problem was, as far as what led up to the divorce, he just, we fast forward a little bit, and then Megan Good gets home from work. She works at a bank. She gets home. Who's working at a bank anymore? Is that even still a thing? So he gets home from she gets home from that, and he's sitting there drinking. And then he's like, "Did you get the message about dinner?" She's like, "Yeah, I just got to change. I'm at work." He's like, "You ain't doing nothing. You're just sitting in your butt all day." Come on, brother. Like, come on, man. It just seems so forced. The dialogue seems so forced. All right, give me 45 minutes. Let me go change. That's what she says. She's down in 30 something minutes, and he left. He couldn't wait. He's impatient. He gets to the restaurant. He's acting a fool in a restaurant, yelling, screaming, not giving eye contact, just angry. Like, why did you go? Why did you go? Come on, man. Come on, man. And of course, I skipped over a scene here, but after the funeral, these boys go out drinking. They go out playing pool and drinking, right? And then Megan Good's character goes to get him so they can go back to wherever their hometown was, right? They got to go back to work and stuff. And then as she's outside waiting for him to come out of this bar, here comes light-skinned Negro to the rescue. Who've always had some thing for each other. Chemistry and sparks start between them. But then he comes out. The son, the Corey Hardrick's character, Dallas, comes out, and him and his brothers, they threaten to beat the dude up and all kinds of, like, what is this, man? And then fast forward a little bit, right? So they announce the divorce, and she goes to her mother and father's house crying. The pastor's house. The pastor wants the wife to set up Megan Good with the light-skinned Negro boy that she always had a crush on or whatever. They're not even divorced yet, man. What? You're the pastor. Aren't you supposed to be hooking them? Trying to make sure that their marriage works out. Go to counseling. Let's therapy. Let's work this thing through. No, let's just move on. Oh my God. Listen, I want Tyler Perry to be successful, but I don't think he's done a good movie, man. The only movie I really, really kind of enjoyed and I would watch over and over again of his is Why Did I Get Married? The first one, when they went out to Colorado. They had that infamous table scene. I can't remember the actress or singer's name. It's eluding me. So listen, man. Oh my God. I want him to be successful. I want us to thrive. But he's got to tell a different story. He's got to. His last movie was like that. It's always. It's always. And I know people have made these jokes and all. But listen, man. Is he not listening to the critiques? You got to. Listen. Self-improvement means you have to take a look at yourself and also hear the critiques, not criticisms or negative criticisms, put downs, but critiques, yes, and sometimes criticisms of what you've done wrong. And he seems to be doubling and tripling down on it. First of all, we're sick of these type of movies. Damsel in distress, she's been hurt her whole life and struggling her whole life, and nothing's going right, and my marriage this, but I've always had this secret crush. Listen, I really don't know if this brother needs some serious therapy concerning the way that he grew up, concerning his overweight women in his family, or even if they were, over domineering, dominant type of women in his family. I don't know what he needs to really work this thing out, man. And I know that, and I think it's really time that we stop supporting him, in all honesty, and not because I want to see him fall or fail, but you got to tell him, listen, this ain't it, man. I mean, it could have been he could have told a good story about a divorced couple who was, a married couple, maybe throwing a couple kids, but okay, they didn't have any kids, about them just struggling, coming from two different worlds, and maybe it's just not working out. And maybe, because it's not working out, maybe he loses his job, and just the difficulties of being a black man, or whatever. She loses her job, and they just kind of slowly just fade away, right? But to constantly throw in this dude, it's in every movie where this woman is always seduced. I mean, this was his sisters like that, with his mother like that. Who was his whole church filled like that growing up? Constantly seduced by some form of love, or somebody they just met. That was that last movie they just met, where somebody was accused of, I forget the name of the last movie. Somebody was accused of killing somebody, or he needs to really do some development, to have a serious conversation with some other people, and just tell a different type of love story. Tell a different type of love story. I couldn't even finish it. And literally, I'm thinking I've seen this movie before. It's really sad because, it's really sad. It's really sad. It's really sad that we don't have that many great producers, studios, bankrolling all of our stuff, right? Or giving actors and actresses. And this is what we get. This is what we get. Listen, I just wanted to jump in for a few minutes here. I'm actually about to get my workout in, but I just want to throw this out here, man. I just think that it was just terrible. It was just absolute. It got a 0 for Rotten Tomatoes score, and I'm very skeptical of Rotten Tomatoes. Very skeptical. I've been watching the show, The Acolyte. And actually, it wasn't as horrible. It wasn't as horrible as everybody said. But episode 7 was complete trash. I know people, have been, Star Wars fans have been saying it's trying to push this agenda, and they were. I mean, there was a lot of that, and I mean, it wasn't really, really overt and over the top. And listen, I'm very sensitive to that kind of stuff. I don't, I think they ought to leave politics and social stuff out of Star Wars and out of the MCU and all that. I definitely agree with that. But it wasn't as it was not a good show, but it wasn't as bad as everybody said. But that episode 7 just went. It was like a Tyler Perry movie. Just went off the rail. What are you doing? Who wrote this episode? Who wrote this? Who directed it? Who greenlit this? You guys watched this and said this should be released? And same thing with the freaking Tyler Perry movie. Wait a minute. You watched this? You wrote this? You read it to the screen producers and other people, and they all like, oh yeah, this is good. This deserves to hit the airwaves. This deserves to be on Amazon Prime. This. Yeah, make sure I got everything. I'm about to go for a run. Listen, this is my 2 cents, man. Tyler Perry's got to improve, man. Tyler Perry needs to improve. And I'm a nobody. I've never been to film school. But I understand. But I understand what a good movie is. I understand. I know. I like a good movie. I like a good movie, and he has not been producing good movies. He's got good. I think he's got good ideas, good plots. Get rid of the captain, save him. Get rid of that trope that he's got, light skinned man to the rescue. Even though the last movie before this one was a dark skinned man to the rescue, you got to get rid of that, man. You've done it so much, we know it. High school love, the one that should have wear, the one that got away. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Listen, that's just my 2 cents. It was, listen, I would give it. I couldn't even finish. Now, I'm telling you, I couldn't finish the movie. I couldn't finish it. But to say that, that's not to say it couldn't have got better. It could have. But I'm like, I've seen this movie before, and then I read, Rotten Tomato scores, and they said it didn't get better, any better either. Got a zero. It got a 0. Now I wonder what the audience score would be. I mean, I guarantee there's somebody. Oh man, it was a great movie. What are you talking? There's gonna be somebody in my comments. Oh, you loved it. You don't know what you're talking about. It was a good movie. This is what goes on in our community. This is real life. It's garbage. It was absolute garbage. There's very few movies I actually get mad at for wasting my time, and this was one of them. And I watch all the other ones. And sometimes I laugh. Tyler Perry movies. Sometimes I laugh. Oh, this is fucking ridiculous. I don't like swearing. This is ridiculous. This is crazy. But this one was absolute trash. It's absolute, and I was mad. I was mad. I was mad that I wasted whatever I watched, 45 minutes or I don't know how far I got into it. 35, 40, 45 minutes, maybe most an hour. I don't think I was halfway through. No way I was halfway through. Anyway, let me know your thoughts and your opinions.